Hello, we're back. We're back. Look how regularly I am uploading. Yay. Welcome back. I'm Bethany. For those who are new, I am an opera singer and musical theater actress who was in Beachbody for 7 years before I got out in 2021. And now I'm here spilling the tea on MLMs, specifically body huns who are moving to other MLMs and starting their own businesses. If you missed it, I did a 2-part series on what Amy Mashburn, formerly Silverman, is up to. And today we're going to look at some mean girls of MLM that are moving to other MLMs. So as requested, we're going to look at some Make Wellness huns. We're going to look at some Hue and Grace. It seems like the big 3 that Beachbody people are moving to are Make Wellness, Hue and Grace, and Shackley. And that doesn't surprise me because they're tangentially related to health and wellness. Use these. And let's get into it. So first, so before we get into everything, I do want to say, don't go to these people's pages. Don't leave hate comments. Don't just don't interact with them. Like I said last week, I'm not trying to start beef with anybody. I am just trying to bring awareness to the scamminess so that other people don't get scammed. So this is not to attack these people. This is to point out the deceptive tactics and the predatory nature of the things that they're doing, and not to attack them personally or get into beef with anyone. They're all super brainwashed, so you're not going to accomplish. This is more like, if you have someone considering joining this, you can share this video with them. You can talk to them about how predatory this is and how they are most likely to lose money. So first up, we're going to look at, so here we go. We got Erin Hopkins. So she's our first mean girl of MLMs that I want to look at because she was sidelines with me kind of. Okay, so I had the same coach as her coach, and she was under that. We were all on the same team. It kind of really doesn't matter specifically where anyone was placed, but we both got to the kind of like diamond and above level, which, as I explained last time, diamond, they try to make a big deal of it, but it really helps the person above you when you hit diamond. It actually doesn't help you. So we went on these different retreats, and when Erin and I first met, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cool. We're going to be best friends. Like, I love your vibe. You're so awesome." And then as soon as she outranked me, that went out the window, because friendships in MLM are only amongst people who are at the same rank, or you want to be friends with someone who's at a higher rank, because they absorb all this personal development and they believe that you're only going to rank advance if you're with the higher people. It's all like mental, because the system actually doesn't work. It only works for 1% of people. So they have to gaslight you into thinking it's all like your mental state and all these other things. So you're constantly second guessing yourself and overthinking everything. So that's the first thing that makes her a mean girl. The second thing, I remember a couple times where she just made me feel like absolute crap. At a retreat, she was like, "Oh, let's everyone go around and say what our highest success club number is." And in Beachbody, you would get 2 success club points every time you sold a challenge pack, or I think they changed it to total solution pack. So it was basically like a program with some kind of supplement grouped into it, like Shakeology or whatever. And all these women on her team and like her person above, like Moira's team, I'm not going to dox them, but they all live in the same city, and it's a very wealthy, high cost of living city. And they were already like in a very high tax bracket before even joining Beachbody. And so they were rich. They knew rich people. They all got very excited when Beachbody came out with these larger challenge packs, like Deluxe and Mega, that were like $200 and $400, because they're like, "Yes, I can sell these." Whereas I, a starving artist, like theater, opera, classical music person, I was like, well, I'm glad that we have more expensive options, because it makes the cheapest option look cheaper, and psychologically that gets people to buy it. Like, I knew that like my people were not going to buy this. And so going around in the group and having you say your highest success club number, just creating this competition, creating this hierarchy at what is supposed to be this retreat where you're building each other up. You know, my highest success club number was 32, meaning I got 16 people to buy a challenge pack in 1 month, which for me, I had been immensely proud of that number. I had felt so good about it when I did it, and I had felt like I really crushed it. And then she went around and she's like, oh yeah, I had 150. And these other rich women from this coastal city that knew other rich women had these insanely high numbers. And I was like, okay. And they all have like, you know, husbands supporting them as well, and nannies and housekeepers and stuff. So they really could also devote more time to this than someone who was working and gigging to try to pursue their dream of becoming a full-time opera singer. She would probably, hopefully she doesn't watch this, but she'd probably be like, oh, those are your excuses. Those are just your excuses. Because any type of reality, any type of privilege, any situation that you come from, what is going on? Do you want to come in? Come on, you want to come in? I'm recording. It's my cat. Do you want to come in, baby? Okay, in or out? In or out, baby? Stop scratching at the door. I'm gonna close the door. Okay, bye. So any type of material reality that would actually give someone an advantage in Beachbody, you act like it's not real. You act like everyone is on a completely even playing field, and it's not. You're not on a completely even playing field. And another way she gaslit me, these are just 3 examples, I could probably think of more, is that she one time, like I asked for her advice because she had been really successful. And I was like, you know, did you sign up a lot of your existing clients? Because she was a personal trainer. I don't know if she's kept up any certifications, because she's been in Beachbody for I think 10 years now, and now she's in Make Wellness. And she was like, oh, well, that actually is a disadvantage. And you have an advantage because you have more of a transformation in your before and after picture. Because she had already been fit when she started Beachbody, whereas I had lost 30 pounds when I started Beachbody. So yeah, gaslit me into being like, no, you actually had a bigger advantage. I did not. She had a huge advantage. So anyway, she's now in Make Wellness. And I just want to look at, so this says, it's December 27th. I'm not shame spiraling. There's no self-hate happening. I'm not planning a January cleanse. I'm not bloated and inflamed. The food noise is gone. I'm not making noises like I didn't obsess about food. I made a lot of healthy choices. I worked out when I could. I didn't measure or track anything. I didn't overeat. I didn't end the night looking 6 months pregnant. Okay, before we go on to her next slide, that should just be normal. That should be normal holidays. I don't obsess about food over the holidays. Actually, since I left Beachbody, I have had totally normal holidays where I obsessed way less, because I got out of MLM and I got out of this business where you're using your body. They tell you to be a product of the product. And I'm sure they're saying something similar in Make Wellness, where you're using your body as a billboard. You're using your own body to try to sell stuff. Now that I don't do that anymore, I don't obsess over food at Christmas either. And I know I I eat things at Christmas that I don't eat the rest of the year. And that's fine. And if I gain a little weight over Christmas, I don't have to start a cleanse in January. I don't have to start a diet in January, because I just go back to eating normal. Like, I'm no longer eating all the Christmas foods. Like, I make my fudge every year, which is amazing. I make amazing fudge. If you've had it, you know. But I only make it at Christmas time, and I'm no longer eating, like 5 pieces of fudge throughout the day because they feel like nothing. And I just go back to eating normal. And that's a normal person's life. And these wellness MLM girlies like to really capitalize on the fact that people do eat stuff they wouldn't normally eat over Christmas. Like, oh my gosh, you need to lose weight. Like, you need to get on a cleanse. If your kidneys and liver are working, like, just drink a lot of water, and like that's their job, is to cleanse and detox. Like, that's literally what they do. So you don't need to go on a cleanse anyway. And she's been in Beachbody for like 10 years. Are you telling me that the whole time you were in Beachbody, you were doing this, you were obsessing about food, you were, you know, doing all these things, not able to drink wine, not able to eat candy and cookies, but now that you are with Make Wellness, like, this is suddenly healed? I just don't like, but she's also still shilling Beachbody. She still has her body affiliate, and she's in Autumn's program that just launched. She's a cast member in Belle Vitale. And so she is selling that too. So like, you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry. December was peaceful and fun, and I was peaceful and fun because I added in bioactive precision peptides and support supplements the last 2 months, all made from nature and not injected. Nice little jab, nice little shade you're throwing at GLP-1 medications there. And while I will always believe in the total solution, that's a Beachbody phrase, fitness, nutrition, mindset, and support, and I'm so excited to dial it in and get back into my routine and healthy habits, I am also so happy that I have these tools, and that in this next chapter, I can help women find peace and truly get results while living their lives and finding peace in the journey. So all the millions that you made off of selling Beachbody to people and forming a downline, getting a bunch of people to buy into these products, that suddenly, none of that matters. She said all this same stuff about Shakeology. She said all this same stuff about every new program Beachbody came out with, every new product Beachbody came out with, everything Beachbody did, she was saying. And now it's like, oh no, now that I've discovered these peptides that happen to have an MLM attached to them so I can build a downline, that's the actual thing. That's the actual thing that helps me get results. Comment peptides and I'll send you a link. Okay. So there's that. And then there's also
to the freaking goat.
Aaron, mother.
I'm going to turn the sound off because there's this song, copyrighted music behind it. And all of these women are just saying, congratulations, you are such a mother effing boss, blah, 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 because she got named the top partner in Body of 2024. So she is trying to have it both ways. She has these both pinned to the top of her Instagram, and the hypocrisy is mind-blowing because she's trying to say, look how many lives I changed, because they always have to be like, it's about helping other people. It's not about, you know, getting rich myself, even though it is. It's about her getting rich herself. Make no mistake. She wouldn't have joined Make Wellness if it was just about changing lives. And she's going to try to say like, no, but the peptides changed my life. No, you joined Make Wellness the day after Body announced they were going affiliate, and there weren't even peptides available yet. You joined Make Wellness like a month before anybody got the peptides. At the time, all of us in the anti-MLM movement were saying, this is legitimately a pyramid scheme. MLMs are product-based pyramid schemes, and Make Wellness, that first month or two, was a full-on pyramid scheme where people were paying money, people were signing up under her, she was getting a paycheck, and there was no product. Like full-on old-school pyramid scheme. So you can't tell me that you just wanted to help people when you joined a pyramid scheme because you were so afraid of losing the money that a downline provides you. You're like, I have to keep my downline intact. I have to get us into a new MLM staff. The day after she was posting, I found us a new home. I looked, I watched her story, I followed the link, and it was the link to Make Wellness. The day after, You had not tried a single product from this. You had not researched anything. You just immediately, you're like, I need to jump over here so that I can keep as many people from my downline intact so I can keep making money. That's what it's about. So you have these two posts pinned next to each other. And this one showing you are the top coach from Body in 2024. So that means in order to be top coach, you can't have just sat back and made money off of the downline or slowed down in terms of recruiting new people. You're not just focusing on the people you brought in and, just like, oh, you know what? I've recruited enough people. I have a big downline. I'm going to just like teach my downline and like let other people, kind of build this. You have to bring in new people. And so you brought in the most people to a dying MLM. And how many did you recruit in November and December or October, November, and December when you knew Beachbody was defunct and they only had the opportunity for 3 months? Or did you just try to get them to buy Beachbody products through your affiliate link and then also buy your peptides? That's what it looks like she's doing. It's like, oh, buy all these programs, still buy programs through my Body affiliate link, but also buy these peptides. Like that'll be like the game changer. I still believe in the total solution, but you also need these peptides now too. And then that way you can join as a business person, a business representative. I don't know what they're calling it in Make Wellness. I think they're calling it affiliates, but you're not. It's an MLM. So that makes it even more confusing because with Body, she is an actual affiliate. That is now an affiliate. Former MLM, it's an affiliate. It's single level. There's no downline building in Beachbody anymore. But in Make Wellness, there is downline building, but they're calling it affiliate, which is really muddying the waters. And like, I don't know, maybe we should report them to the FTC. But yeah, okay. This is the last I want to look at from her. New year, clean slate, fresh start. Let's freaking go. I'm ready to dial it in after a splurgy December. Didn't you just say you didn't splurge in December? I'm so confused. Also, all the Body coaches January 1st are like, I'm ready to dial it in again. Or, sometime in the summer, oh, I'm ready to dial it in. Like they're always going off and on. And it's giving yo-yo dieting, honestly. You're supposed to be selling this permanent solution, but every time a new program comes out, it's like, oh, I got to dial it in. I'm excited to announce that I'm kicking off 2025 with a new nutrition and fitness platform. I've been diving in and nerding out about this nutrition and fitness course and getting certified as a coach. Okay, who is certifying you? Is it NASA? Is it ACE? It's not. It's Make Wellness's own certifying thing. It incorporates so many of the principles that I've used and had success with on my anti-inflammatory journey without feeling super restrictive. Okay, so now you've had inflammation suddenly. Okay. And of course, it's clinically proven to get you results. What clinic? Show me the clinical trials. Show me the science. This program is going to help manage hormones and gut health, help people lose fat and add lean muscle mass while still letting people live their lives. Asterisk, this is not a Body program. Oh God, okay, I can't, okay, we'll finish this. 6-week faster wave program. Oh, this is the thing Danielle Natoni is doing. All these girls are so entangled with each other. Okay. A custom carb cycling plan with your macros calculated for you based on weight, activity level, and your goals. Daily workouts for the home or gym tailored to your carb cycling day. Weekly meal plans with daily recipes to take the stress out of planning. A private community and support from me for accountability and encouragement. Everything you need all in one easy to navigate private app, including my fave part, the AI food tracking and intermittent fasting timer. Comment results, and I'll send you the link so you can get started and we can start in this 2025 journey together. Okay. All right. These women are lying to you to sell you stuff. And I was in Beachbody for 7 years, and every time Beachbody came out with a new program, they were like, oh my gosh, this one is the game changer. This one is amazing. This is an all new thing. And I was already gone by the time Autumn's gut health program came out, and obviously Belle Vitale just came out. That's her hormone health program. But these women, it's all about weight loss, first of all. They're selling weight loss, and they're trying to make it look like it's not through a calorie deficit. It's through fixing your gut health. It's through fixing your hormones. And that phrase, like, so you can still live your life, and we're going to calculate all this stuff for you. Macros, carb cycling, intermittent fasting. Those are all just types of calorie deficits. And also, if you're carb cycling, you are not living your life. Like, look, if anyone else out there has ever done carb cycling, to me, it was freaking torture. I have tried it, and it made me someone that I did not like. I love carbs, and just having days where you can't have carbs, including fruit, turned me into someone that I do not like or recognize. And it made me very cranky, and I hated it. You cannot live your life in carb. Maybe some people can. I cannot. But all of that coded language is like, oh, we're going to do all this other stuff so you don't have to give up anything that you like or feel restricted in any way. Like, you're still living your life. But actually what's going to happen is when you sign up for that, it is very restrictive. And I know, because I sold these kinds of, Beachbody has the same stuff. Like, Beachbody had programs with carb cycling. Beachbody had programs with different meal plans and intermittent fasting and all of these things. And it all comes down to trying to sell this idea to people that this is somehow a new way. This is somehow a way that you can lose weight without, giving stuff up, and you can still live your life, and you can still have chocolate. Remember the eat more dessert thing? And you can, if you just track your calories and you eat in a calorie deficit. Bottom line is, if you want to lose weight, you have to eat in a calorie deficit. If you want to gain muscle, you have to eat more calories so your body can build muscle. I'm not a personal trainer, and also, if you want to lose fat and gain muscle, that's a whole thing. Like, body recomposition is like a whole thing that is actually way more complicated from what I've seen personal trainers talk about. And you're not going to get it from a one-size-fits-all MLM product. You're going to get it from talking to a personal trainer who's going to work with you personally, and or a dietitian, nutritionist, whatever, with the proper certification. That is just the weight loss portion. Now let's get into the gut health and the hormone health portion. You are not going to get something to fix your gut health from a one-size-fits-all MLM product, or just a one-size-fits-all product that someone is making on the internet. The faster way to fat loss thing, I don't even know if that's an MLM. So now she's doing Make Wellness. She's doing faster way to fat loss. She's still doing her body affiliate. What of any of this stuff? How do you even know if any of it is making a difference? And if it is, which of those things is making a difference? You are taking so many supplements. You are still taking all your Beachbody supplements, your Shakeology, your Performance line, I assume, Energize, Recover, etc. You're now taking these peptides. You're taking all the gut health supplements. That had its own set of supplements with it. Supposedly, maybe not, or maybe you have gut health supplements that you're taking with the faster way to fat loss. Are you taking the Belle Vitale supplements? Or are there different supplements with the faster way to fat loss that are supposedly hormone supplements? Like, what all are you taking? And how do you know if any one of these things is making a difference? I just how do you know? The next thing that I wanted to say about this is that everybody thinks they have some gut health problem or some hormone imbalance ever since the panini, people have been, a lot of people gained weight in the panini, and after they struggled to lose it and assumed that their hormones were thrown off by, the panini and the mental health and like the stress. Everyone's like, oh, it must be my cortisol. Cortisol is like a hot topic. Look, I'm not a doctor, but so this is my personal story with it. I left Body in 2021, and I started a job, those dreaded 9-to-5s, and I gained weight. I gained about 20 pounds, and I had gained some weight in the panini as well. And I wanted to get it off, but I felt torn because I felt like I didn't want to do the Beachbody programs because of like triggering, and just I was mad at Beachbody, and I was like, I don't want to get into that, like just for personal reasons. And I also like didn't really want to count calories because the type of content I was consuming at the time was telling me that counting calories is ED behavior, and like any type of monitoring your food is ED behavior, which I now disagree with. I think everybody's different. Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone has their own relationship to food. And I convinced myself that I was eating in a deficit. I convinced myself I was eating 1,800 calories a day and that I just wasn't losing weight. And so it must be my hormones. And I went and I got labs done, and I got panels done, and my gut health, my hormones, everything was completely normal. So I made a decision that I was like, I'm going to actually count calories because I need data. Like, I'm doing it for data. I'm going to count every single thing I put in my mouth, including like if I take melatonin gummies to help me sleep, like I'm going to count it. Like a tablespoon of barbecue sauce, that's like 20 calories. I'm going to count it, like everything. I counted everything, and I realized how I was eating in surplus or maintenance every day without realizing it, thinking that I was eating in a deficit because I was too afraid to truly count everything. And this is not me saying you should count calories. This is just me sharing my own story, and this worked for me. I'm not a person who struggles with EDs, and I wanted that data. And the only way to collect data is to collect data. And I suspect that this is what happened to a lot of people. It's very easy. That taught me it's very easy to think you're eating in a calorie deficit when you're actually eating in maintenance or surplus, because so many things have so many more calories in them than you think they do. And it's kind of tedious to measure everything out and figure out exactly what's in everything. And it's so easy to underestimate the calories that you're eating. And I think most people coming out of the panini who have maybe never done that and just wanted to lose the 10, 20, 30 pounds that they gained in the panini. I'm saying panini because YouTube gets mad if you say the actual word. I know, silly, but most people are not aware of how many calories are in things. And a lot of foods have a lot of calories that don't fill you up. So then you feel like really hungry all day, and you're like, how am I eating in a calorie surplus when I'm so hungry all day? Because you're eating things that don't satiate you and keep you full for longer, including vegetables, which have really low calories. But if you eat a lot of vegetables, it helps keep you full longer. Anyway, all that being said, these MLM huns are then preying on people's, lack of understanding of calories and lack of understanding of how their body works. And maybe a lot of people don't have the agency to go to their doctor and be like, I need to get hormone panels done. I need to get like a gut health, like stool sample, urine sample, like all that kind of stuff, like to really know. Like, it's uncomfortable, and a lot of people aren't going to advocate for themselves. A lot of people aren't going to like ask these things. And it's just easier to be like, oh, if I can buy this program, that'll fix everything. And you might lose weight, but it's from a calorie deficit. It's not from a program. It's not from these products. But they want you to think it's these products and these miracle peptides and these miracle whatever. Shakeology, it was for me when I was a body hun. I was like, this makes it so much easier for you because it has the probiotics, and so it's going to help your gut health. And it's going to keep you full longer, and it's got protein, and these superfoods are so magical, and it's just going to make you so healthy. And people stay on that product because they're afraid that if they go off of it, they're going to gain weight back, or they're not going to be as healthy as they feel or whatever. And it's really just like, you lost weight because this meal program put you in a calorie deficit. And it's as simple as that. And you can do that for free. If you want to lose weight, you can do it 100% for free. There are a lot of free calorie trackers. You can do it on MyFitnessPal. I know that's supposed to be like cringy in 2010s, but it's free and it works. So whatever, do whatever you want. But the odds that this many people have gut health and hormone health problems, I'm not buying it. Also, a lot of these Huns had their heyday when they were like young moms, and now they're in perimenopause and menopause. So this is the perfect time for them to, prey on people who have questions about their hormones, who have changes in their bodies happening in perimenopause and menopause that they want to still feel like they did before they were in that phase. And they want to have things that make them feel like they're in their 20s and 30s and not like they're in menopause. So they are preying on the fact that people are in this vulnerable stage in their lives, and it's not cool, in my opinion. So all that to say, they're also still like primarily promoting weight loss, because it all comes down to that. It all comes down to like, look, I'm like hot and skinny. I used to be like fat and ugly and gross, and now I'm hot and skinny, and don't you want to be like me? Like, and then it's not cool to say that. And so they're like, oh, well, it's actually through my gut health. It's actually through my hormone health. I'm actually being like so much healthier. When actually a lot of these things that you're doing, and I'm not knocking on intermittent fasting or carb cycling. I know those have uses, and some people, their bodies might thrive in that. But for most people, those are actually more restrictive, unhealthy behaviors. And you're more likely, like I did, to become obsessed with your appearance and to never feel like you're thin enough. And you're always trying to like get that much more shredded. And it's not about health. It's about looking a certain way. And it's about hoping that look is going to like bring more customers so that people will join your MLM and pay for your lifestyle and like make you money, because people are constantly quitting and it's a house of cards. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay, so next, Mean Girl of MLMs, and this is my former coach, and this is the first time that I've mentioned her. I mentioned her in the last one, and one of the reasons she's a mean girl of MLMs is she can be very emotionally manipulative. So she inherited me from the person, my college friend originally recruited me, and she inherited me, and my college friend had kind of stopped working her business, and she essentially bullied towards the end of the year. So this was 2015. I had been like a 1-star diamond, and my coach above me had fallen out of diamond. And for this woman, Meredith, to achieve elite, which is like a Beachbody thing, you need to add 2 new diamonds every year. And she had not added a second one. And she essentially bullied my coach into canceling her business so she could absorb me and hit elite. But she did it under the guise of, oh, I'm taking leaders on this retreat to Puerto Rico, and I can only take my personally sponsored people. And so like, you staying a coach is preventing Bethany from being able to go on this retreat. So she like bullied her into canceling. Now, you supposedly own your own business, so why couldn't you just take me anyway? Why did you have to emotionally manipulate this friend of mine? I'm not going to say her name because she is not in she hasn't been in Beachbody for 10 years, and she did quit. So she doesn't need to get dragged into this. But why do you have to tell her like, oh, you are preventing Bethany from having this experience? And you need to quit so she can have this experience. It's like, no, you needed her to quit so you could go elite, so you could get those elite points from having another personally sponsored diamond coach. And she did take me on the retreat, but it's like, I don't, like you make the rules. You could have taken me on the retreat anyway. You could have been like, hey, you are doing great. You earned this. And just because you're a level down from me, I'm still going to take you because you earned this retreat. Even though it's like supposedly only for my personally sponsored coaches. I earned a cruise one year in Beachbody, and none of my personally sponsored coaches who had all hit, certain levels had earned the trip too. So I took someone below one of my personally sponsored coaches who wasn't working her business, and this girl below her was, and I was like, you're doing great. I'm going to bring you on this cruise with me. So I did it. But yeah, it's just, so she did that. And then when I was coming out of Beachbody, I made a TikTok where I pointed out how in MLMs, uplines will say, there's so much room at the top. If I can do it, you can do it. Like when I get into these rooms with these elite coaches, when I get into these upper, these top rooms, there's so much room at the top. These rooms are so empty. And I pointed out that it's always going to be that way. That's always going to be the room with the least amount of people, because to be an elite coach, you have to have 5 diamonds under you. And so there's always going to be 5 times as many people in the diamond room as in the elite room. And to be a diamond, you have to have 12 people under you. So there's always going to be 12 times as many people in the regular person room as there are in the diamond room, and so even if, all those diamonds become elite, there's going to be 5 times as many people. That's always going to be the case because that's how it's set up. And she was like, she hadn't talked to me in months. And she was like, she called me on the phone and she was like, well, someone sent this to me and I know you know my heart. And that and I was very much at the time like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And she just really emotionally manipulated me. And she was like, the people who like kind of stay at diamond, or the people who are just like emerald or coach level, like that's just what they want. Like they just wanted some part-time money and they just want, like they just want to get their discounts or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I still hadn't like deconstructed all of that stuff. It wasn't until a couple months later that I was like, no, that's not the case. Like I was stuck at diamond and I was trying so hard to get out of diamond to get to that next level. I was not happy making a part-time income. And so many diamonds were that way. So many people in those mid-levels and the lower levels are trying so hard, but the system is set up for them not to get to the top. The system is set up for only 1% of people to get to the top. And the audacity of her to say that to me when I was one of those people who talked to her every year and like, I'm so tired of being diamond. And she'd be like, you just have to find 2 women to run with you. And it was like, yeah, I need to find those 2 to like run with me, that they're going to get me to where I want to go, not them to where they want to go. And she'd always be like, we're an elite team this year. We did it. We're so amazing. And I'm like, but you're the only one who gets the perks for that. Like if we all worked at like a branch of a company and our branch had the highest sales, we'd all get bonuses. Sure, maybe the manager would get a larger bonus, but we would all get bonuses. I got nothing for like keeping her elite every year. Sometimes she'd throw me a bone and be like, oh, you can be my +1 to the elite party. And yeah, anyway. And then of course, once I fell out of diamond and like started distancing myself from Beachbody, I never heard from her except that one phone call when I was hurting her heart by pointing out facts about how MLMs are set up. So that's Meredith. So this is just, I don't need to play this, like just read the text. Texting my best friend to see if she wants to quit her job, start an online business with me, focus on our nutrition, fitness, and hormone health, there it is, and travel the world together, comfortably to sunny places with exotic beaches, foreign languages, and beautiful people, and somehow get paid for it. Okay, girly, I'm gonna break this to you gently. You didn't start an online business. You joined Hugh and Grace. Tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, whenever it is, they can do the exact same thing Beachbody did to you. They can take your entire downline away without giving you any warning, without giving you any notice. You do not own Hugh and Grace. You are an independent contractor. You are a 1099 worker. You don't even have protections. If they do that, you can't apply for unemployment. You can't get benefits from the government, and you have nothing on your resume to try to get hired. And this is not me like age shaming, but she says her age on her social media that she is 48. And it's scary to me that she doesn't have anything on her resume, and she's now 17 years from retirement. I don't know if she's had any education on like the Beachbody didn't provide you any like 401ks. Hopefully she has like IRAs and like independent investments. Hopefully she's saving for retirement and not just assuming that she'll always have like these downlines supporting her lifestyle. But yeah, you don't own your online business. And again, you were with Beachbody for 12 years, 13, 14 years, something like that. And they took it all away from you in one fell swoop, focusing on nutrition and fitness and hormone health. So everything that you've been doing with Beachbody, this is the greatest thing ever. This changed my life. Shakeology is this superfood blend. Now she has no longer Shakeology. She has this Hugh and Grace, these Hugh and Grace supplements. These are now like the recipes that are changing her life. Like this is now the thing. Because with Beachbody, she can't build a downline anymore. So she can't make her money off of a downline. She'll still try to, I'm sure she still has the affiliate, but she jumped over to Hugh and Grace because you can build a downline there. So as much as she leads with the health and fitness aspect, like that's a big part of her brand. She was a yoga teacher before. She's very much into Ayurveda and stuff. And like, she has a gorgeous Instagram. Like, to be fair, like she knows her brand. She has a gorgeous Instagram. Like, she knows what she's doing with it. But it's all about the downline. It's not about, she can lead with the health and fitness all she wants. She can lead with the natural nutrition and superfoods all she wants. But it's all about the downline. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Okay, the last post I want to look at from her is this before and after, January 2024 to January 2025. Tell me this is not the exact same body. Like, I'm sorry, like, you're just holding your legs differently. You're wearing different tops. And this is just, like, look, you're holding your legs, like, the angle of the hips, like, one is, like, straight on in the before picture, and the other one is, like, tilted slightly back. And, like, her arms are tilted slightly back. She's angled a little bit differently. Like, and then if that's a year between, I'm sorry, I know how she operates, and she would post a before and after like this every single body program that came out. It would be another before and after where it's just posing, it's just minuscule differences. And these types of before and afters, when you see these from body huns who have moved on to Make Wellness or Shackley or Hugh and Grace, just know that they've been doing this with every body program for years and years. And all it is just natural fluctuations that can happen within like a month of your cycle. And I will tell you that people would literally say, so we would have a Success Club trip every year, and it was always either to an all-inclusive resort or a cruise. And if you've ever been to an all-inclusive resort or on a cruise, you know that food is everywhere, and there's a ton of food, and it's not healthy, which is fine. And it's also packed with sodium because of, especially on the cruise, because they have to like, you know, get enough food for for the week or the 2 weeks or however long it is, and they have to, it has to be preserved. And it's just also just when you go out to eat, things are going to have more salt in them anyway. Like, I've worked at restaurants, and when you go to a restaurant, you have no idea. Like, I see the chefs back there just like salt, salt, salt. It's salty. It's fine. And I love salt. Salt is my favorite mineral. I mean, at all inclusives, there's just like plates of donuts and French fries just in random areas of the resort, and you're drinking alcohol. And again, it's fine. So all these body coaches for 5 days would just be binging like crazy. And then as we're leaving, it's like, oh, as soon as we get home, we have to take our before pictures for 6 weeks of the work, or hammer and chisel, or whatever was coming out next, core de force. Like, we'd be like, oh, we have to go take our before pictures. So these before pictures, you can't trust them because they are taken, and we talk to each other about this. Oh, I take my before picture at night when I'm PMSing. So you could take a before picture. Try this. Take a picture of your body, like completely normal, like not sucking in, just completely normal at 10 p.m. And then at 6 a.m. when you get up the next day, take a picture as well, and you will see a huge difference without even posing. Then you can also take a second after picture in the morning where you're like flexing your abs, sucking in, and then kind of like get your good angles. And like, you can make it on your own, like make a before. That's my new challenge. And I want you guys to tag me or like DM me your pictures. Like, take your before picture at night and your after picture in the morning and make it look like you've lost 10 pounds. It's so easy. I've done it. So I've taken before pictures over those 7 years. Like, as soon as I got back from the Success Club trip or any of the other random retreats we went to where we ate a lot, while I'm PMSing, right after the holidays, any of these types of things. And then you add the posing and the lighting, and bam, you made it look like you lost 10 pounds. And this doesn't even look like she lost 10 pounds. This looks like the same person, just posing slightly differently. I don't even know what she's trying to accomplish with this. But like, these are just January 24, July 2025. That's not happened yet. It's January 2025 right now. Does she not know that? Okay, I think these are all just, July 2024, January 2025. Same person. This is the same person. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. I have to stop sharing that. Those are just two, and we're already at 47 minutes, but I have to point out the deceptions in those because, wow, they are so deceptive. Like, wow, they are so deceptive. And next week, I want to look at some of their new like opportunity calls that they're doing. And we're going to check back in with Amy because I have some more stuff about hers that I want to talk about. But I just have to tell you, when you see these body huns in Make Wellness and Hue and Grace, everything they're saying about their products, they were saying about Shakeology. They were saying about Energize and Recover and First Thing, Last Thing, and whatever workout program they were doing, Bar Blend, whatever. I know Beachbody added like mental health. That was after I left, and I didn't even go into detail about how Erin took a little jab at GLP-1s, like, oh, no injections. Here's the thing. Let me leave you with this. If any of these products worked the way these coaches say they do, it would not require an MLM to sell it. Because an MLM, you get people, like the distributors are the primary customers, and they usually have to stay on the subscription to stay active, and you get this cult-like mentality about these products. No matter what MLM you're in. I was in Body. It took me, so even when I left Body, and Beachbody's like, Shakeology is like $130 a month. The coach price is like $100. I stayed on Shakeology for like a year because mentally I was attached to it, and I was so afraid of like suddenly getting sick a lot or like not being able to poop, like getting off of it. All these things, even though I knew that superfoods was a marketing term, and I knew that I could get like a cheaper probiotic, and I get a high quality probiotic that is much cheaper, and I knew these things logically, but I couldn't like get myself, you get so attached to these because there's like this cult mentality surrounding it. So if it was really a product that worked that much, you wouldn't need an MLM to sell it, because You wouldn't need to convince people that they needed it every month in order to like be a product of the product and like be a good distributor. You wouldn't need, you wouldn't need to get people to like brainwashed into it. And it would sell on its own. You wouldn't need to convince people so hard. Like, if Shakeology really did everything that I claimed it did, like, I wouldn't have had to like try so hard to convince people to like get a challenge pack instead of just buying the workout program, because like I wanted to hit Success Club, not because like Shakeology actually did everything. But in like always trying to convince people to buy it because I wanted to hit Success Club, I convinced myself and tried to get rid of my cognitive dissonance and all that stuff. But secondly, I want to use GLP-1s as an example, because as much as these people are taking shots at GLP-1s, like, they don't need an MLM, and they exploded, and there was a shortage, and people were running out. Like, and this is not me endorsing them or saying not to use them or anything. This is just a commentary on, if something works, it will sell. It will explode. It does not require an MLM. There will be shortages. There will be huge demand for it. If these products worked the way these people said, there would be a huge demand for it. And I would say that as well about what's the one that has the happy juice? Why can't I think of the name of that MLM right now? But if it cured all the mental health things that it claimed to cure, it would be flying off the shelves. Like, there would be a shortage. Everyone would be after it. It would not require an MLM to sell it. So just keep that in mind. If anyone's trying to advertise something that seems too good to be true, it probably is. And if something actually works, it'll sell. It'll sell like crazy. So those are my two today, and we'll look at some more people next week. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.